Is Rudy Giuliani secretly working for Robert Mueller? I'm not actually suggesting that he is in a serious manner, but since Rudy Giuliani has joined Donald Trump's legal team, it has been just like one faceplant after another that are really not making Donald Trump look good. Not that he looked great before Rudy joined his team. First, Giuliani joined Trump's legal team and immediately did an interview where he admitted that actually, yeah, Trump did repay Michael Cohen $130,000 in Stormy Daniels' hush money after countless denials from Trump and the White House and everybody else. Then Rudy Giuliani, in another interview that was just very strange, tried to walk back his own claim by saying things he says are just rumors, basically writing off his own assertions as just rumors that he had heard. Then Rudy Giuliani comes out and makes the very strange statement after the conviction of Michael Cohen's business partner, Evgeny Friedman, that he, meaning Giuliani himself, has as much to do with New York City taxis as Michael Cohen had to do with New York City taxes, which is insane since Michael Cohen actually had a lot to do with New York City taxes. And then last week, I told you about this absolutely outrageous interview that Rudy Giuliani did, where he said that Donald Trump was at risk of committing perjury if interviewed by Robert Mueller, not because Trump would be lying, but because the truth is relative, and almost like postmodernist critique of the Mueller investigation. Not exactly what I would expect from a lawyer for Donald Trump. And now the latest, and I'm going to play some clips for you today, is that Rudy Giuliani appeared on CNN and just made no sense. And I'm not saying he made no sense in some symbolic way. He literally made no sense. Like, I didn't know what he was talking about during this interview. Here he is asked by Dana Bash about whether this whole Spygate thing, which we haven't even talked about because it's so crazy, whether the entire Spygate thing is an attempt to just interfere with Robert Mueller's investigation. I cannot understand Rudy Giuliani's answer. Take a listen.
Let's start right there. The FBI confidential source is directly connected to this ongoing investigation into the president's campaign. Doesn't it create an appearance that the White House is interfering with this investigation?
I don't see that, Dana. I think that the White House has every right to know, the president has every right to know as commander-in-chief. After all, the investigation, as the Democrats said, revealed nothing new. So there's nothing, to us, that means exculpatory. Because the new would be if something turned up that was a surprise. So it should be very easy to brief us, and we can come out of it saying same thing, nothing new, or we might come out and be able to say nothing, in which case you'll have a real signal.
What is he talking about? Like, I don't understand what he's talking about. He seems confused and sort of slow, and this went on for 20 minutes. Here's another section where Rudy Giuliani's answer is so incoherent that Dana Bash changes topic altogether to, is Trump going to sit down with Robert Mueller? Because she doesn't know what he's talking about. And if you're watching, you'll notice that when she asks, will Trump sit down with Mueller? Rudy Giuliani's eyes bug out as she asks the question. And then, of course, totally incoherent answer.
But if it is true and it's dangerous to this man, he better be protected already. I don't believe he's being protected. Says to me that maybe the FBI and the Justice Department is being a little hypocritical here.
Why is that?
Well, they said he can't be revealed because it's dangerous. Now he's been revealed, Wall Street Journal, several other newspapers. If that man is the man, he better be protected. I'm not sure, but I hear he's not. So what's going on?
Mr. Mayor, I want to just ask point blank. Will the president sit down with Robert Mueller, even if the White House legal team or you, anybody on his legal team doesn't get a briefing about this confidential source?
Well, if he wasn't thinking about it and it wasn't an active possibility, we'd be finished with that by now and we've moved on.
Then they get to, hey, Rudy, you keep talking about the entire investigation being rigged. How is any of this rigged? And here is Rudy Giuliani's answer.
It's rigged. I just want to go through, because I know you use this term a lot, and obviously so does the president. This investigation has already brought charges against 22 people and entities, including 13 Russians who have been indicted for trying to change the outcome of the election. So how is it a rigged investigation when they're not even close to being done and they already have this in their pocket?
Well, because first of all, there are two different investigations, right? The counterintelligence investigation is now over for over a year, and they weren't disclosing it to anybody. Immediately, that raises questions in my mind. Why not? I think why not? Because it clears the president. Then you get the Comey thing, which is a leak of a confidential memo, which is illegal for an FBI official to do.
Right.
And that becomes the basis for appointing Mueller. I'm not saying Mueller.
The problem is the leak. The problem is the leak. It's kind of sad, isn't it, Pat? Like, what the hell is Rudy Giuliani talking about here? And he was a very good prosecutor. He was involved in some interesting mob cases related to Donnie Brasco. He had a lot of policies as New York City mayor that I disagreed with, but he was sort of a normal mayor. He did some measurably good things in New York City. What is the guy talking about here?
He also in this interview admitted that the Spygate thing was just a PR ploy.
Right.
I think, to quote Donald Trump from a couple of weeks ago, he just joined Trump's legal team. He needs to go back and read over his notes and think about, what the story is.
Right.
He has to get it
needs
straight
to
at some point.
inform himself before he can be doing interviews. And yeah, Pat's pointing out what the entire point of all of this Spygate stuff is, which is just try to discredit Mueller by pushing Spygate. The idea that there's like some kind of there was an organized spy in the Trump campaign being handled by the FBI or something along those lines. Giuliani's been a disaster for Trump since he was hired, and these are the behaviors of someone who knows that their client is in trouble, right? It's all a discredited witch hunt. Mueller can't be trusted. Trump can't talk to Mueller because the truth is relative. There could be a perjury trap, and Spygate makes the entire thing irrelevant, as opposed to let's all get together as adults and clear this up so that the president can get back to focusing on just being the president. And unfortunately, the problem is that as disastrous as Rudy Giuliani has been when it comes to the truth, Trump won the election by lying, and there's a lot that lying can achieve for a candidate like Trump with a cult of personality around him the way he has. So Rudy Giuliani can probably do a lot of good by going out and lying as well. Hopefully Mueller's not going to be distracted by it, but the PR war can be very positively impacted by having somebody like Rudy go out and just tell lies. Send me your thoughts if you understood this interview. I'm on Twitter at @dpakman, and the show is on Twitter at David Pakman Show. The video you just watched was made possible by support from you. Please go to patreon.com/David Pakman Show. You can make a pledge of as little as $1 per month, and every dollar helps to support the work that we're doing, particularly in light of the YouTube ad boycott, which has been really bad.